let's give this model more details. I'm going to add some small rocks along the wall. So let me create the first rock. I create a cube. I hit F to focus on the cube. Make it longer, shorter, like a brick. And go to the front view to make sure we place the brick around here. And then put it inside to the house and look like this one. And I'm going to add the bevels for the brick. So go to edge mode, select all edges for the brick. Then go to bevel, click bevel, and put around 0.25 for the friction. But still too big. How about 0.05? That's too small. So 0.1. Well, I think it looks better right now. Okay. I'll leave this brick like this. So this is the first brick we just created. I can still adjust the scale a little bit. Let's call it brick 1. Brick 01. BRIC. Yep. And phrase transformation for it. That will make this the transform the transform of this model back to the 000 and the scale to 111. Go to front view, turn on the wireframe shade. I'm going to duplicate the brick 1, Control D, duplicate it, and move it up a little bit until it touches the first one slightly. Then let's hit Shift D and repeat it. That should create a lot of bricks for me. But the last one is a little bit too big, and it go out front of the roof. So I'm going to go to vertex mode and select those 2 vertex, those 4 vertex actually, and move it back down to hide them. Okay. But right now the bricks, they look too perfect and make it looks fake. I'm going to randomly rotate some bricks. Random select them. Randomly select them. To rotate them a little bit. Then randomly select the other few bricks. And rotate them to another side. Maybe move them out a little bit and move some bricks out. Alright, I think it's okay. when I turn off the wireframe mode, the white shaded mode, it's more looks more naturally, right? It looks like a human. It plays them, and they did do a very good job, so that it looks a little bit jaggy, but that makes this house looks natural. And under outliner, let's group the bricks together. Select brick 01 and drag the window, drag it all the way down to here. Shift, select brick 26. Just select all of them. Control G to group them together. I can call them bricks 01 or brick group, GRP for group 01. And I'm going to use the same methods for duplicate windows. I'm going to use the same methods for bricks here. Control D to duplicate the group. Then put the -1 under the scale X channel. Hit enter. You have to make sure the pivot is in the center point of this scene. It should be on the center of the grid. If it's not, it's easy to fix. Don't worry about it. For example, I select this group here, and I will move the pivot away on purpose here. And if I want to snap the pivot back to the center of this grid, just hold down D to go into the pivot mode and hold down X to snap the grid, then move the pivot to the center of the grid and release all your buttons. It's very easy. And then that's clear the isolate mode. Duplicate it again, Control D. This time I'm going to mirror it along the Z axis to the other side. So let's put -1 under scale Z. Then we got another copy. And Control D again. This time make the scale X back to the +1 again. Now it goes to this side, and we've finished all the bricks, the decorations. And I'm going to add some bevels for the roof. Before I add some bevels, I have to extract the roof so that I don't have to add bevels for the other part of the building. So let me isolate the building and just select the face for the roof. It's might a little bit hard to select them, so let me go to the front side. We got a lasso tool for selection. We can drag a shape and cover all the face centers that we want to select. Select all of them. It won't select the other face that we didn't select it. So going to use extract, edit mesh, extract to extract the roof. After I extract it, it becomes two shape nodes, two single models. So one is the roof, another one is the house itself. And I also create some histories. I'm going to delete the history for the roof. Edit, delete by type, history. Clear the history. Let me isolate the roof again. Then I select the edges. I have to select them carefully. Hold down Shift to multiple selection. For multiple selection. Here. Don't forget. Here, top edges here, and make sure it didn't misselect it, or you didn't skipped some essential edges. I think I selected all of them. Yeah. Oh, I skipped one here. Alright, I think that's it. And next, go to Edit Mesh Bevel, add a bevel for the edges, and lower the friction to 0.2. I think 0.2 should be enough. Go back to Object Mode and skip the isolate selection mode. Okay, we add bevel for the roof, and now the house looks more detailed, right? It looks beautiful. Let's make the chimney for the house, and also add some bevels for the window frame. Let's start from the window frame. ISO select this frame, then I will delete inner face first. Go to front view. That will make me easier to select the inner face. Select the interface here, hit delete. We delete those faces that will never be seen, and then add and select the edges. Select these two edges. I think that's it. Then we go to bevel. To add bevels for the window frame. Lowered friction to like 0.25. This time add one segment. Add more segments for the edge. It looks smoother. Exit the isolate mode. And I don't want to repeat the process again, so I'm going to duplicate those frames. Delete the original one, the left one, and turn on the wireframe shade. Go to right view, select the left window frame. The pivot is still on the center line. This is good for me. Control D to duplicate it, and click the axis that I'm going to align, which is the X axis, and hold down the V for snapping the vertex. Then I use my middle mouse button to click on the vertex, drag it, and the window frame, new window frame, pop to the right side. Open outliner and find out the group, the right frame group here. Delete the L frames group and duplicate R frames again. Control D, rename it L frames, and we go to the channel box. Put the -1 under the scale X channel, and we will duplicate the window frame group to another side. And now they looks all the same, and it got perfect edges, perfect bevels. Next, let's create the chimney. Create the cube first. Move it up. Place it around here. Yep. Scale it up. Scale it longer, taller. There's one way that you can scale it along two axes at the same time. You just have to hold down Control and select the axis that you want to lock. For example, in this case, the y-axis. If I hold down Control and drag along the y-axis, it will lock the height, but it scaled up the X and Z axis to make this chimney wider. Then place it inside the roof. Okay. I can delete the inner face here. We don't need this face. Just delete it. And go to the modeling toolkit. Multi-cut tool. Hold down Control and add an edge loop around here. Click my left mouse button to add an edge loop. And go back to the selection mode. Selection tool. And select the full face here, except the top one. Extrude them. Add some thickness for them. Now it looks like chimney right now. And select the top face. Make it smaller a little bit, just a little bit. And extrude the face. Pull it down to make the depth. Okay, the chimney is almost done. All we have to do is add bevels for it. Go to Edge mode. Select, let's go to wireframe mode. Well, actually, let me double click the edge here. Double click it to select the continuous edge, and the edge loops here. The edge loops around here, here, and here. We almost select all of them, but we have to skip this full edge. If we hold down Shift, we can deselect them. And don't forget this 4. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, we don't mind the interface here. Yeah, it's not important. To bevel. Oh, something happens here. Control Z. Let's see. Well, it's okay. Yeah, no problem. Let's bevel it again. Make the friction smaller. Okay, that's good. Oh, if you lose the floating window here and you want to see it again, just select the model and click the history for bevel and then hit T, and it will show it again. Scale the chimney down a little bit. I think it's too big. Put it inside. That's it. The house is almost done. And next I'm going to make the ground. Let's create a polyplane. Scale it up. Maybe a bit bigger, like this. And let's isolate the floor. We can add more divisions. Open the history, then highlight these two channels. Let's use the middle mouse to drag on the empty space. Drag the mouse to the right. You can add more subdivisions for the surface. Or let's just put number here, 60 by 60. I think that's enough for us right now. Okay, that's a 60 by 60 polyplane, and it's flat right now. I'm going to sculpt it by using the sculpt tool. Go to where is here, mesh tools and sculpting tools, and click the button here to make it float. We got some we call it brushes, and that will act just like the function in ZBrush. In the program ZBrush, we can sculpt the poly model by using the webcam tablet and sculpt it just like a digital clay. In Maya, you'll do the same thing with the sculpting tool. The most used brush, I think, is called the sculpt tool here. Let's click it. You will see a big circle. That's the size of the brush. And you can small the brush by holding down B for brush. Then left mouse, holding down B and middle mouse click, drag your mouse. They will enlarge or shrink the area of the brush. So make this a proper size for yourself. Release the B button. Now let's use the left mouse button to drag on the surface. And you will see the surface start to deform, like mountains. If you hold down Shift, that will smooth the surface. Or let's make the brush bigger and hold down Smooth again, the Shift button, and then smooth them. And if you hold down M and middle mouse button, click it, drag it up and down, you see a black line, and that stands for the magnitude of the brush. how strong the brush is. So the longer the line is, the stronger the brush will be. So, for example, I make this brush smaller and make the magnetic bigger. And if I drag on the surface, I'll make a very big deform like this. But if I make this black line shorter and drag it again, I will just make a very little, very small deform on the surface. So it depends on what you need. Sometimes if I create some deformation that I think is too much, I will just smooth them by holding down Shift. Of course, I will enlarge my brush first and hold down Shift. Then I just use my brush to draw on the surface and make it smoother and smoother. And by the way, if you want to dig a hole, hold down Alt and left mouse button. Hold down Control and use your left mouse button. I will push the surface downward. Of course, if I erase the magnetic and hold down Control, I will quickly make a big hole on the surface. Let's undo it because that's too much for me. I'm going to make a ground look like outdoor nature ground, so there's some bump on the ground. They won't be too flat. So I just use the brush and the sculpt tool brush, then use a small magnetic and draw on the surface. At the same time, I use smooth tool to make it smoother. I will skip the corner of this ground, and I'll just sculpt the center part here. But remember, we got a house here. Therefore, I don't need too much details on this surface around this area because we won't see clearly of this surface here, but we might see some details outside of the house. So let me add more bump around this area and this area, and that exits the isolate selection view and check it. Maybe the ground's too big and too bumpy. I can scale it along the y-axis to adjust the bump surface. I think it looks fine to me. Next, I'm going to add some fence outside door. Create some fence around the door, around the house here. I'm sorry, around the house here. Let's create a cube, drag it out, and place around here. Scale it longer and thinner like this. Thinner a little bit. And add divisions in the center. Maybe this one, yep. The subdivision width. Put 2 under the channel box. Then go to edge mode. Drag this edge up to make a triangle here. And that's the first fence for us. Let's call it FENCE, fence 01. And the freeze transformation. By going to modify, freeze transformation. As to this pivot, I think that's fine to me right now. I don't want to change the pivot. Maybe scale it a little bit, and then freeze transformation again. Alright, that's placed around here. And hit Ctrl D, duplicate it, move it aside, and Shift D to duplicate again, and again until the thing is done. Okay. Let's duplicate the fence again and rotate it 90 degrees along y-axis and put it here. Control D, duplicate it, move it aside, and Shift D again. Let's keep on doing Shift D. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's group this side. Select the fence here. You can change your camera angle to make it easier to select all of them at one time. And Ctrl G to create a group. The center of this group, the pivot of this group, they will be automatically appeared on the center of the scene. Let's call it left fence or left front fence because it's in the front side. Ctrl D to duplicate this group. Rename it as a right front fence and make a -1 for the scale X. Put -1 under scale X channel, so we'll mirror this group. And select those fence again on the left side of the house and Ctrl G, grouped it and name it left fence. And still duplicate it, call it right fence, and again just put -1 under scale X to mirror it. Finally, we need a fence behind the house here, but all the fence is already under the group. So after we duplicate one of them, Ctrl D, duplicate them and rotate to 90 degrees along the y-axis. Maybe 0. Okay, here. Put 0 under the rotate Y. Then you can Shift P to pull it up, pull this model out from the group. Shift P and check the outline here. We put the fence 60, number 60, out of the frame, out of the group. I'm sorry. And let's place the fence in the right position and duplicate it again. Move it aside. Shift D to make a lot of copy of it until it touches to the other side. Like this. And under outliner, select from 60 to 98. Group them and call it back fence. Okay. Now we make the fence like this. Maybe we can add more details for the fence. I need a bar behind the fence. Make this cube thinner, shorter, and longer by scaling it. And place it behind the fence. Let's go to the vertex mode. Right click and go to vertex. Select these 4 vertex and move them until attached to this side. Go back to object mode. Let's turn on the wireframe shaded. You can see it clearly. Maybe this time just duplicate it and move it to the other side. Control D to duplicate it again. Rotate it along y-axis 90 degrees. And put this bar here. Just behind the right fence. Of course, let's go to vertex mode. Select these 4 vertex, drag all the way to the back. Control D, duplicate this bar, move it aside, move it to another side. And we're eyeballing it. Just use move tool and eyeball it to the right place. And finally, we still need 1 bar behind house here. So how about just duplicate the original one, move it back. Okay. Then like this. Let's make it closer to the fence. And then go to vertex mode. Drag this 4 vertex until attached to another side. Okay. And now we have to do is to place each bar into the right group. For example, for this bar here, it should go to the left front fence. We can use the middle mouse button to drag it under outliner. Just drag it to the left front fence. By doing this, you will put this bar into the group. Next, this one, it should go to the right front fence. So let's middle mouse drag it into the right front fence. And how about this one? This one should go to the R fence group. Here's another way to put this model into the group. You can also select this model, hold Control and select the right fence group and hit P for parent. And this way we will put this model into the group. So let's do it again. Select the final one and hold down Control. Select the back fence. I'm sorry. It should go to this group. So select this one. Then select Polycube 5, the node shape here, and hold on Control and click left fence. Then hit P to group to parent it and put this model into the group. And finally, this one should go to the back fence. P. Alright. We finished the fence. Let's create the mailbox for this house. I'll place the mailbox around here. First, let's create a cylinder. Rotate it along axis by 90 degrees. Move it to the front. Go to front view. And scale the cylinder a little bit bigger. And delete the lower face. A process just like what we did for the front door. We'll fill the hole again. This time, let's use a different tool. For example, the Append to Polygon tool. So go back to Object Mode, select this model, go to Mesh Tool, Append to Polygon. And your cursor turns into a cross. Click the edge of this cylinder, maybe here, and click next edge here. Next one could be here or here. Both way will do. And I decide to click here to make a quarter. And hit Enter to finish this job. And let's do it again. Use the Append to Polygon tool. This time click this edge. Next one here, here, and then hit Enter. Right now the surface looks a little bit weird because of the normal angle. So decide to select the model, then use the mesh display, harden edge to make everything looks hard. But we need the smooth shading along the surface here. Go to side view and hit 4 to go to the wireframe shade mode. Select the edges around the side, the parallel edges. And don't select these two, skip them. Just select these parallel edges. And do the mesh display, soften edge. Go back to object mode and check the surface. It looks very smooth right now, but it still keeps the low poly count. Go to face mode. Select two face here. Then go to the tool, modeling toolkit. Use the extrude and drag it out to make thickness for the surface. Go back to object mode by hitting F8. Maybe make this mailbox longer. And, place it down. The mailbox looks too big. Scale it down a little bit. Alright. And select the face along this side. Let's extract the face. Go to edit. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Extract, edit mesh, extract. We'll extract this model into two shape nodes. One is this part, and another one is this part. So this is the cover of or the front side of the mailbox, and let's center the pivot by selecting modify center pivot and hit D to go into the pivot editing mode. Drag the pivot lower. You can hold down V to snap the vertex and snap the pivot to this vertex here, and release the O buttons. Now you can open this mailbox by rotating this plane. So how about let's rotate it 90 degrees like this, and let's give it a thickness. So extrude the surface and drag it up a little bit to add more thickness. The surface doesn't look right because the normal is reversed. So we have to reverse this normal. Select this black object. I go to mesh display, reverse, to reverse the normal, and reverse the normal direction, and now we can see the shape of this model. And you can also add some thickness for the mailbox itself. Select this model, hit extrude, and this time I add some thickness, make it go inwards like this, and we still get the reverse problem. So go to mesh display, reverse, and fix this problem like that, just like that, easy. Well, sometimes you find out if you rotate something, it might deform weirdly. I think that's because the history of this model. So let's rotate it back and delete history, and rotate it again. Well, I think there's no problem. Alright, let's create another shape around here. How about create a polycube? Put it beside the mailbox. Go to vertex mode and drag it toward. Go to right view. Yep, right view. Under object mode, use the multi-cut and add some cut here. I think I should lower it a little bit. Then select face, select this face, this one, and extrude it. I think it needs some bevel, so let's select the edge. Actually, I'm going to select all edges and deselect these two edges and deselect these two edges and deselect this edge also. Yep, that's it. Oh, here, let's have to skip this edge. After we select all correct edge, do the bevel and put 0.25. you can go to the pivot mode and move this pivot to the bottom of this model. And this way, if you want to make some animation for this part, it's easier. So maybe rotate it, so give it some angles, it looks more natural. And I think I want to give it some bevels also. Yep. We'll skip the inner part and just add bevels outside. And give the bevel. Put 0.35 or 0.3. Okay. Looks much better. And do the same thing for this part. Here. Here. Hit 4 to check it. Is there anything we missed? Or you can go to the X-ray mode by hitting this button. Let's go to the X-ray mode, and we'll see a transparent model shading, and you can still see the component. It's a good way to check the model that you selected. So I think everything looks fine to me. So let's correct bevels for it, and also put 0.3 for the bevel friction. Okay, finished. Create another cube. Go to right side, and now we can go to the X-ray mode. Yeah, this way it will make it easy to check the place of the model. And go to vertex mode. Make this model longer. Go to front view. And scale it along axis. Like this. And pull it back. Hold down Control to lock the height and scale the Z-axis and X-axis. Make it thicker. Go to face mode. Select this face. Drag it up. I like to add some details for this part. So go to multi-cut tool. Hold down Control and add a cut here. Add another cut here. Hold down Control, add a cut here, and maybe here. Yeah. And select the face. Extrude it along the Z-axis. Drag this vertex up a little bit until it touch the mailbox. I think drag those vertex up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thickness. And select the face around the top of the model and do the extrude. raise the thickness to 0.1. Then select the top face. I want to make the curls on the face. So the easiest way to create like 4 triangles is to go to Shift right mouse button, then use the poke face. Where's poke face? Yep, here, poke face. The command I believe is under mesh to edit mode, edit mesh, poke face or poke here. You can find the command under the edit mesh menus also. So go to poke. So you split this face and to 4 triangles and give it a vertex here in the center. Now we can drag the vertex up, create like a pyramid shape like this, and select the edge, select this for edge, and use mesh display harden edge to make it looks hard. Beautiful. Maybe add 2 more cuts here by using multi-cut tool. And select face around here, this full face, and extrude it again. This time, let's make a negative 0.1 to shrink it. Maybe negative 0.05. Yeah, looks better. And let's group the mailbox model. Select all of them and Ctrl G to group it and name it under aligner mailbox. Well, the shape doesn't look right. Well, let's fix it. Select the model, rotate it 90 degree, and then shrink, scale it down a little bit, and scale it along the y-axis, actually z-axis, and make it wider. Okay, and delete history. Then put 180 here. Yep, I think it looks correct right now. Or maybe don't make it looks too perfect like this. Yeah, it looks much better. That's it. That's for the mailbox.